Hi folks and welcome to today's video. Herniated L4, L5, L5S1 disc, exercises you need to avoid. Now, I do make a lot of great content for those folks out there suffering with low back pain issues, such as herniated discs, bulging discs, sciatica nerve pain, stenosis, etc. Many conditions of the lower spine. If that's you, hit that subscribe button. You'll be notified when I upload some great content to get you guys back on the road to recovery. But without further ado, let's get into today's video. Okay folks, if you are suffering from an L4, L5, L5S1 disc bulge disc herniation, could just be one, could just be two, it is the most common area of disc bulge disc herniations in the lumbar spine. There are certain exercises you want to avoid at the gym. Now, if you are an active gym goer, you're probably super, you love working out, okay? And it comes crashing down the realization you've got the herniated disc, bulging disc. It can become a real pain when you can't work out. And there's certain things you might not want to give up, but there are some exercises which are just going to make things worse. You're not going to get better, okay? So I'm going to just mention some of the top four. There's many top 10 if you wish. But today I was going to mention some of the top, most popular 4 exercises that people will try to keep doing. And I'll say avoid it and I'll give you replacements, all right? So number 1 is going to be the classic barbell squat. So barbell, of course, on the back, okay? There's going to be a lot of stress going through my lumbar disc region, a lot of weight in my shoulders. I come down, okay? Here, a lot of stress on the back, okay? You want to avoid that when you've got a herniated disc. You can easily replace that with a classic split squat. So my legs are split apart, both toes face forward, back heel off the ground, with control, maybe a 3-4 second count down and up. No momentum, pause at the bottom if you wish, make it a little bit harder. Really nice, easy exercise. Do it, of course, just body weight, okay? You need to use a wall to support yourself, that's perfectly okay. Probably hit between 8 and 15 reps on each side, but it is going to avoid loading that spine unnecessarily. Number 2, deadlift. Again, great exercise, okay? People love lifting a lot of weight off the floor. Here I am, pulling 250, okay, whatever. That is not the best thing to do with a herniated disc. You are going to excessively stress the area. But you may have actually caused it from doing that exercise or squats. There is a high relative risk ratio of doing that exercise, especially you can do it incorrectly with high loads. It can lead to low back issues. So if you were doing it before, avoid it. You can do something instead. Nice, easy, basic hip extension. I'm here on the ground. Okay, both knees bent. Push through my heels, squeeze my glutes. I lift up. Hold at the top for a second, or maybe a 2 count, or even a 3 count. Back down slowly, touch the ground lightly with my low back. Squeeze, hold, 1, 2, 3, and come down. Squeeze up, hold, 1, 2, 3, and come down. Nice low impact, low stress exercise. It's going to engage my glutes, engage my hamstrings, work my lower back a little bit, but it's going to be way less stressful than doing the classic deadlift. Now, another one you'll often see, especially as we're down here on the ground, is crunches, or people throwing themselves up, heavy spinal flexion, bicycles, leg lifts, whatever, okay? A lot of unnecessary stress in the lower back, not great to do. You want to do something which is more bracing, more stabilizing. A good replacement would be dead bug. So I'm in this position here, knees are 90, arms up like so. Now, my right heel goes towards the ground, as my left arm goes back, and I'm trying to hold my low back and not let my back arch. I'm bracing my abs. I come back up to the center, start here. Other side goes back to this top. And you just go as far as you comfortably can go until you start feeling this lower back. You can't hold it any longer. Okay, when it starts to arch, you want to stop before it arches and come back. As the arm moves down, leg moves down, I get, tension, and bring it back. This pace is perfectly okay. You don't want to go faster than this. And you would look to between 18 and 20 repetitions in total. As you get stronger, you're able to sort of touch the ground, maybe even touch with your thumb, and bring it back, okay? Simple, easy exercise to do with a low back load. Now, moving on. Again, a lot of people love to do, of course, upper body work, right? One of the classic ones you often see in the gym is the overhead press with the barbell or dumbbell. So we'll be here, classic overhead press. I'll probably get out a shot here. And you can keep it very tight in the beginning, nice neutral spine, but invariably most people you'll see, as it gets heavier, as they get tired, they're like, oh, the back comes in and okay, they're hiking, pushing with the hips, and excessive low back stress. We don't want that. What can we replace it with? A nice simple exercise I like to do because it encourages spinal stability, core engagement, but it also works the upper body, chest, shoulders, etc. in a controlled way, is a one-arm incline dumbbell press. I'm just going to pull this incline bench into shot here for you guys. So here, incline bench, it's about 45 degrees. Now I would very often put a small Reebok step or something here. The reason for that is when I go back on the bench, my feet are elevated, my back is more flat on the bench. Take my dumbbell, again I would start light, okay, nothing, don't go crazy. And you're just going to press up above your chest and come down. Now the reason for the one-arm dumbbell press is the one-arm dumbbell basically is going to try to pull me off the bench. I have to engage my abs really strongly to hold myself in that position. Yes, I am engaging my upper body, I'm getting some strength work in my chest, shoulders, etc. But I am actively engaging those abs and working them under a dynamic load, which is great for stabilizing and helping the spine. Again, I would probably recommend you do on the high rep side, so minimum 10 up to 15 or so. I would avoid doing trying to do singles or 2 to 4, okay? Just because you will be engaging extremely hard through the abs and that will put unnecessary stress on your back. Start with the higher rep circuits first, okay? 4 weeks, 6 weeks, gradually progress yourself through your herniated disc journey. It can take a long time, 4-6 months, up to a year in some cases, okay? You want to have a nice, steady, progressive rehab protocol in place to get you where you want to be, all right? Okay guys, listen, I hope this video has been useful for you. Don't forget to comment, like, share down below. If you do have questions you want to ask me directly, you can hit me up by my email. It's also down there. If you want to reach out and get a call with me, I do a free 45-minute advice call. The link's down below, you can click on there, find a space, book in, and I will gladly have a chat with you guys and give you some advice going forward. All right guys, listen, don't forget, like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Have a great day.